Can you tell us a bit about Fortis' mission and your role as director, VH Discovery?
Yeah, absolutely. So Fortis started as a collection of companies. They partner with diagnostics and life science companies, sort of with the goal of creating, validating, and manufacturing a number of different proprietary solutions. The goal is really to address challenging problems and utilize very specific technologies in our various brands to help address all of those problems. So one of the things that we're doing is we're offering custom antibody discovery services using multiple platforms. One of those platforms is the single domain antibodies from llamas and alpacas, known as VHH. And so my team, the Department of VHH Discovery, is operating currently under the Abcor brand, and we offer custom discovery campaigns as well as a couple off-the-shelf libraries from our herd of llamas and alpacas. We do immune-derived materials, we do phage display workflows, and we do a lot of antibody discovery, primarily for therapeutic discovery on a fee-for-service basis. And we've got a number of customers, but we're really excited to work with more partners in the space.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, let's go to the second question. How did you first come across Acro Biosystems, and what led to Fortis to start working with us?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been with the Abcor team for about 2.5 years now. And when I came on, the team there had been working with Acro for several years. We've had a very successful relationship with Acro, primarily in sort of their recombinant protein pipelines and catalog products. We do a lot of Acro products in our immunization workflows, and I also have really come to enjoy them in my panning workflows using phage display. So we're doing a lot of fully custom project designs. One of the things that we've really sort of made our mark in is the human cyno-mouse cross-reactivity. And so for Acro to offer all of the human cyno-mouse proteins, especially sort of in the pre-validated formats, it's been really helpful to have that availability and be able to really generate robust immune response for triple cross binders. The other thing that I've really come to enjoy, especially in our library validation workflows, are these AVI tagged catalog proteins. And so Acro has a really nice selection of all of their recombinant domains being expressed as AVI tagged and pre-biotinylated, and that we've done some internal testing that has shown that it's really effective, and it's been really nice to have those readily available for validation as well as for sort of standalone panning campaigns.
Awesome. Well, I really like to hear that, especially you really utilize our AVI tag protein. That's what we really strive for. Okay, third questions. What challenges or needs were you looking to address when partnering with Acro Biosystems?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that keeps me coming back to Acro is the catalog selection. I've always been really impressed with the number of relevant therapeutic targets that are already listed and as I said, sort of formatted with different species or different tags. But the other things that really stand out are rapid timelines for product delivery. And I think that the relationships that we have with the individuals at Acro have been really helpful. They have a deep sort of passion for the industry, yourself included, of course, and focusing really on enabling our end-to-end discovery in a really rapid fashion. So it allows us to maintain the full customization as well as rapid timelines.
Awesome. Yes, exactly. We are trying to be an end-to-end solution, so we're really glad that being resonate to our customers. Next questions. Which Acro Biosystem products or service have you been used in your research or development workflow?
We've done a very large number of different proteins from the catalog. Therapeutic extracellular domains. We've done a few single passes, a few sort of different formats. One of the things, as I mentioned, that we utilize really heavily is the AVI tagged catalog. And then the other thing that we're moving into more recently is some of the multi-domain assemblies. So we did a cool panning validation on one of our discovery libraries recently using the CD8 alpha, CD8 beta heterodimer from Acro. I think you guys are using an acid-based coil to keep the two domains together. It seems to work really well in our panning workflows, certainly, and I would imagine in other workflows as well.
Awesome. Like to hear that. Okay, next question. How would you describe the quality and consistency of an Acro Biosystem product in your experience?
We've had really nice translation of them into sort of different antigen formats and also into different presentations of target. So one of the things that we've noticed a lot, especially in this AviTag catalog portfolio, is that we're getting really nice translation from an ECD binder in solution. So we'll do a solution phase panning, and we'll use that to isolate antibody sequences that will bind to live cells. And so the attrition is obviously non-trivial between sort of recombinant protein and live cell binding, but we are able to get a higher than expected, certainly, sort of translation between those two workflows. And so I think that really speaks to the native presentation of these ECDs and the accessibility into different workflows.
All right, next question. How do our support and technical team contribute to your success to help resolve any challenges?
I think, we don't really have many problems that come to mind. I think that I have had sort of the passing curiosity. I know I've asked about sort of the multi-domain assembly formats and biotinylation efficiencies, and it's always great to get good answers, but no issues come to mind, certainly.
Awesome. I'm glad the product itself is high quality enough that it didn't come across any difficulties. All right, next questions. What kind of outcomes or advancements that Fortis has seen as a result of using our products?
We use them very heavily, both in sort of our custom service workflows. We'll purchase large amounts of immunogen. We'll use them for panning. We'll also do parallel arms in some of our custom workflows if customers have their own sort of pre-validated and they want sort of a separate ECD format that we can use to validate and capture separate binders. We've gotten good sort of convergent pools as well as parallel pools from using that approach. But I think recently the real impact that they've had is in our use in validating these discovery libraries. So we launched our AbNano VHH naive library about 15 months ago. We used acro antigens to validate all of that. And all of that went really well. We got some live cell binders from the PDL1 from Acro, actually. And then more recently, we launched last month, actually, the anti-T cell library that, again, was validated using Acro. We did a CD3 epsilon ECD and then the CD8 alpha beta heterodimer that I had mentioned. And again, the AviTag, I'm not going to shut up about it. I really love the format. I love how it plays in our sort of panning workflows, and it seems that it's really effective and translates well to other systems.
Yeah, I just really like how specific the AviTag can bring to the equations.
Yeah, and I think my theory, at least, is that the site specificity is going to maintain sort of a natural binding that you would see in a C-terminal tethered ECD. And so, to me, it translates well to endogenous systems.
Now, as a former trained protein biologist, I definitely agree with that. All right, last question. Would you recommend Acro Biosystem to other researchers or company in the field? If so, why?
Certainly. I think, as we've identified here, there are a number of reasons that I do recommend Acro over other providers in the space. I think the human cyno mouse on therapeutically relevant targets is really valuable. I think the tagged formats and also the validations. There's a decent amount of validation that each target goes through on your side. And all of that's pretty well presented and clear and transparent. But it really enables rapid discovery in end-to-end antibody workflows.
Yeah, same. Just want to throw in a bonus questions. What kind of validation data that you think is relevant or useful for your team before you even look at that purchases of that protein?
Yeah, I think the SPR data and similar biophysics for an antibody against the target is valuable, but I think even more so for us, what we look for is if there's an endogenous ligand that is able to be measured and you can sort of show that you are capturing native state interactions in the ligand, that is, to me, one of the highest validations that a protein production team can generate for their product.
So Sam, what kind of additional data that you would like to see as a reagent provider that will benefit your team?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing and the gold standard that we will always look for is the interaction between the recombinant protein and an endogenous ligand. That can be difficult to measure because it's typically a micromolar affinity and a transient interaction. But I think that being able to demonstrate native state is really the gold standard. From there, using something like a validated monoclonal antibody that is able to bind to endogenous receptor or endogenous ligand, and you can demonstrate that interaction still functions in the expected affinity, is a nice proxy.
Thank you so much, Fan. Once again, I think like sensitivity is something we are probably want to work on for next in terms of our completion of the data. So thank you so much this morning.
Perfect. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.